Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. It's an Amazon FBA business created in August of 2017 in the apparel and accessories and sports niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $48,302 and makes an average of $7,670 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 172 SKUs, which are multiple variations of the same core product. And there's also a primary domain, a secondary domain, supplier relationships, an Instagram account, and 2 trademarks. And just as a disclaimer, inventory isn't normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to verified buyers. And as another disclaimer, buyers should have an active VAT number in all UK and EU countries where this business has inventory stored before the transfer can finalize, and it's highly recommended to begin that VAT registration process as soon as possible. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 63212 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Casper. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Nick. Glad to be here. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great, and I'm happy that you're here with me. I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off with the first question, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, my name is Casper. I started selling on Amazon back in 2015. And I started with my own business back then and had quite a journey and did a rather good job, I think. At least I sold the business in 2018, also on Empire Flippers. And from then on, these guys contacted me from this Amazon account, and we had a talk back and forth on what was going on and what kind of products they were selling. And I thought it looks interesting, and I joined the team back in 2018. So they started the account in 2017, but I started a small year later.
Okay, nice. So it sounds like you have now hit 2 out of 2 as far as achieving business success to where you can list it for sale on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So congratulations for that. And so at this point, why are you deciding to sell this business instead of keeping it and growing it?
Well, we had this business more or less as a side hustle for some time now. I have been the primary point of contact for this account, and it has been a hobby more or less for us for the last couple of years because we all have something on the side. And a lot of things has happened since 2017, 18 when we started. And some of us has small kids now and has moved into other countries and stuff like that. So I think the business has grown and it is mature now, that we can sell it. And I think it deserves, another person or a company that can continue the journey that it's on and make it grow even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, certainly a very successful or profitable hobby. So let's talk about that. So during this multiple years that you've had this business and that you've built it, what did you learn from building it that worked that you feel like contributed to the success of this business?
Our business, we have a lot of repeat customers. There's a lot of the customers coming back to buy the same products because they wear out and they need new products. One of the most important things, and I also learned this from the first business, is that you treat your customers the right way. And if you deliver high quality products and good service, they will come back and they will even share their experience with their neighbor or friends. our products in the sports niche area, and it's kind of a technical product that can easily be shared among friends with your experience. And if you deliver a good product and deliver a good service, by word of mouth, you will have a lot more customers. So that's one of the key things I learned.
Yeah. Over the years, I'm sure you've heard as well, just people asking, oh man, is Amazon, is it saturated? Is it still okay to enter the market? But what you just said kind of makes me think, as more sellers get into the e-commerce space in general, those who focus on quality and treating customers well, maybe they have a chance to stand out well because there are a lot of people who just want to get in and maybe play the low cost game or, just to sell something.
Yeah, I don't think Amazon will never be too saturated if you know what you're doing. Basically, by that, I mean, if you want to sell the similar product as your competitor, obviously it's going to be saturated. But if you deliver another service, another quality, it can be packaging, sizes, colors, yeah, quality, then there will always be room on Amazon. And there's plenty of opportunities to come on page one, even from day one. You can pay your way. And if Amazon and if your campaigns are profitable and Amazon is making money of your campaigns because you're selling more, then your organic ranking will start increasing and you will have more sales that way.
Yeah, that's a great point that this space can be saturated, but it's largely on you as the seller to decide how you enter the market, how you decide to operate within it, how you grow, if you will be part of something that's saturated or not. That's a great answer to that. Okay. Of course, it's very rare for business to last for several years and experiment with everything and have everything be successful. So, was there anything you tried with this business that didn't work out as well?
Like everyone else on Amazon, PPC, we do SEO for our campaigns and try to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And obviously, sometimes you think that this is a home run keyword because nobody's using it and it's very cheap. Many times you find out that it's too broad or it's not what people are actually looking for. So PPC is the biggest thing where we figured that it didn't work. But since we're only Amazon focused, PPC is more or less the only thing where we did not find success. Obviously, we have PPC campaigns that are profitable, but some of the campaigns that we thought were profitable were not. So,
I see. Sometimes you find keyword that is an opportunity, but then you also find sometimes why a keyword isn't being used by competitors and that it's too broad. Got it. Okay. Well, it's been a few years since you've had this business. So, at this point in the life of the business, can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do for maintenance?
I would say the last year or two, it's been more or less on autopilot. But you also obviously need to continue the business and keep the products going, continue to get the reviews, comment on any comments that you might have on your products or questions that the customers might have. But it's more or less keeping the stock, the inventory in the warehouses and optimizing on the PPC campaigns. I mean, they've been optimized for so many years, at least the old campaigns. You can't really optimize them anymore. It's more or less the demand of the season that decides on how it's going. But Amazon is very good at launching new ways of advertising for your products. So PPC is the more or less the function we spend most of our time on. Keeping inventory in stock, keeping the production going, and PPC, that's basically it.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the answer to this is just making sure you're staying on top of what's currently working. But let's talk about the opportunities for growth. So, if you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
There are a few big opportunities. The biggest one is actually Amazon.com. We are actually in the process of shipping our first shipment to the US market. And the reason I'm saying this is because some of our best sellers has 5,000 plus reviews. And that's a top 5 in the US if you look at our competitors. So right off the bat, there's a big opportunity to get sales on the US market. And the amount of sales that is done on the US is 7 to 10x what is in Germany, which is our biggest market. So there's a big opportunity on that one. The second is, since we are Amazon only, and we've been Amazon only because we want to keep it simple, and Amazon is what we know. But you could create a Shopify store or WooCommerce or whatever you prefer and start fulfilling to customers outside of Amazon. I know our brand is searched for on Amazon, I mean, the brand name. So people know of our brand, and there would definitely be some traffic going directly to a Shopify store. And there could be some opportunity there to create some more sales outside of Amazon. And the third thing is we have focused mostly on Germany in Europe. That has for a long time been the biggest market in the EU. However, the UK is big as well, France and Italy. And we've done some work on France and Italy and the UK, but not even close to the work we've done in Germany. So there's also a potential there. France and Italy is actually starting to sell rather good. There's some ideas there. And the last one is, at least in Europe, I'm not sure how it is in the US, but live sales is a really good sales channel here in Europe. So there's the Amazon Live option where you can have influencers with a following already doing sales. But you could also do something called Facebook Live. I'm sure the listeners know what that is, where you sell your products live, basically. And they only need to type in a keyword to create the order. Yeah, that's the 4 areas I would focus on if I were to continue the business.
Yeah, so this presents kind of a unique opportunity because most sellers will try to start in North America because it's the largest market and they can use the profits generated from there to then expand into other markets. So to see a business that has started and has been successful and is profitable in a smaller market and already has the review base that you have, like these listings are already ready to potentially see explosive sales in a much larger market. So that's a very exciting opportunity, just to echo pretty much what you said as your first point.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, we want to sell the account, but we're also excited to see how it works out in the US.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are some great opportunities, those 4 that you listed. What do you think now are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Obviously, we are Amazon currently. That's always a risk factor. You're playing on the Amazon playground and you have to obey by the rules. Obviously, we've done that since we started, and the account has never been jeopardized or closed or anything. And we are in good standing, but it's always a risk if you're Amazon only.
Yep.
Another example of risk is, last year during the COVID, I think it was the summer of 21, restricted their warehouses so that we couldn't send in our products because they wanted to have gloves and, all the stuff that could help decrease the COVID. That meant we couldn't ship in our products to the warehouses and we had to set up FBM listings. The FBN listings wasn't a problem setting that up, but we needed a third-party warehouse to handle the shipments and send out and receive if there were any complaints or anything. So that took us 2 or 3 months to set up, and it really hurt our sales last year, but it was a long journey solving the issues during the COVID. Luckily, Amazon has lifted the restrictions and we can send in as many products as we want today, but it's always a risk, obviously, when you focus on one channel.
Yeah, any Amazon seller who has experience certainly has experienced both the supply chain issues, but then also with anything that Amazon has needed to do over the past couple of years in response to different scenarios. Yeah, I can see that where you're mentioning it looks like around June of 2021, but it's where that drop occurred. But it's great to see how quickly it recovered after that as a result of you being able to find a solution to that. And then also with Amazon, once again, allowing you to fulfill the inventory through them. So great to see that recovery there.
And actually, Amazon were great. Obviously, they restricted us. That wasn't great, but our account manager was really good explaining this and setting up calls internally in Amazon to see if she could raise the restrictions sooner rather than later. They were obviously pretty understanding within Amazon. So it was a tough period, but we learned a lot from it, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's great to hear. All right. Well, a few remaining questions here. How much support are you willing to offer a new buyer who takes over this business?
Yeah, basically whatever it takes. I mean, I love talking to other people who's dealing with Amazon and Amazon businesses and stuff like that. So delivering all the service I can. In my last sale I did, we had 4 or 5 months of weekly calls. My experience is that if you're completely new, 2 or 3 months would be satisfactory. But if you know about the Amazon, 1 month maybe would be beneficial. Whatever it takes, basically what I'm saying.
Okay, great. And just confirming that you commit to a non-compete?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. And are you open to something like an earnout?
The short answer is yes, but we definitely prefer an all cash deal. However, obviously there's going to be some negotiation, and basically we are aware that this is an option, and it all depends on what kind of deal we can make.
Yep, totally makes sense. And putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, it's easy to run. It's easy to handle. I mean, there's a lot of SKUs, but a thing to remember here is a lot of the SKUs are the same products, but it's different sizes. There's 4 sizes and 5 colors. And then there's 2 packs and there's 5 packs. Even though it sounds like a lot of SKUs, it actually isn't. It's not a lot of products. It's very easy to handle. The account is rather old. It's from 2017. That means if you, for some reason, should run out, you will very fast get the organic ranking back if you run up, because there's such a long sales history. There's also a lot of repeat buyers, and we have a lot of reviews on some of our bestsellers and market leading in Germany in our niche. It's easy to take over. It can be, most of the stuff we do is automated, review requests and stuff like that. So it's more or less the train is running, so to speak, and it's just to jump on and follow the train.
Yeah, all very strong points. Okay. Well, final question potentially. Is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
Well, we haven't talked too much about a few things. The manufacturer of our products is located in Portugal, and it's actually also, we have a good relationship with them. And the new buyer will take on our contract with the manufacturer. And the beautiful thing about this is that the manufacturers located in Portugal makes the logistics very easy to handle. It's not like you have a manufacturer in China and you need to send a container from China to Europe. So there's no issues with the customs and stuff like that. It's basically just it takes 3 to 4 days from the manufacturer to Amazon, then it's live. And another thing to that is, from Amazon paid in euros, and we pay the manufacturer in euros. So that is all inside of EU. But if you were to transfer the euros to US dollars, then you would actually get a lot of money. Or actually, you could save a lot of money because you have, the money inside of EU. You don't need to transfer the money from the US with the currency as it is right now. It's a good thing for the buyer.
Yeah, so it's almost like you have a domestic supplier you essentially do. You just are able to serve multiple different countries.
Yeah.
Which is a very important thing right now with, as you mentioned, supply chain issues and just having to purchase more inventory to be able to avoid selling out.
Yeah, exactly, because you're paying the manufacturer in euros, and if you ship the products to the US, if that starts going, then you will actually earn a lot more, since the currency is the US dollar and the euro right now is more or less the same. So the amount you will earn per item would be way bigger than paying in US dollars in China, for example.
Yep, nice. Well, certainly a lot of benefits, and yeah, I think this sounds like potentially simple to manage operation and just a healthy business overall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this is the best place to wrap this up. So, Casper, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I do hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Thank you. I look forward to continue the work, Nick.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 63212. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.